And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Hello, everybody. This is not Brandon Rhymes. As you know by now, we have different voices, and we don't look anything like each other. But we know each other. That's my boy, Brandon Rhymes, and when he's out of town, he'll ask me. I don't know if I'm the 5th pick or the 10th pick or the first pick. I'm not sure, but it seems like I'm in here quite often, filling in for Brandon when he's out and about. He's in California. This is Ian Beckles filling in for Brandon today, and we have an exciting show today. First of all, we have 3 guests. 2 of them are in studio. We have Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. Greg, what's up, brother?
Hey, glad to be here. Yeah.
Doing all right?
Yep, doing great.
It's a good time of the year for you, ain't it?
It is. This is definitely our busy time. It's hot out there.
It's hot.
It is very hot.
Yeah, I got a funny feeling we're going to break records this year.
Yeah, phones are ringing.
Yeah, go Heat.
Stop, so.
Go Heat. No doubt. We have Scott Maurer.
Maurer, yep.
Maurer, okay. Is that how the baseball guy spells it?
It's not how he spells it. He left out an R.
Okay, yeah. He spells it wrong then, obviously.
He did.
From Advanta IRA, and I'm going to pick your brain a little bit because I'm probably like 95% of America. I don't know anything about IRAs.
You know what? You're right. You're like, most people don't know much about IRAs and very specifically what we do and people putting their IRA to use outside of the stock market.
Okay, well, we're going to get to you guys in a second, but we have another special guest on the phone, Ben Schacter. Ben, how you doing, brother?
What's going on, Ian? I don't think you're 5th or 6th string. I think you're 1st string, Grant.
I hope so. Well, Brandon might tell you 1st string, but I don't trust anybody. I'm just here to help. I'm just here to help out. That's it. So Ben is a South Florida realtor. He's really created a system for all the realtors and allows them to really get in contact with each other. So it's pretty much networking, correct?
Well, Total Brokerage is a software platform, Ian. We created it because we are a brokerage company, and we've grown so frustrated with how limited the real estate software platforms are out there for both agents and brokers alike. Total Brokerage is a complete end-to-end online solution, and I look forward to telling everyone about it.
So what do you think you offer? You said you guys, it's something that everybody needed. What do you guys offer that everybody else wasn't offering?
Well, Total Brokerage is a mobile responsive website, and it allows agents and brokers to do everything in their business in one single platform. It is a CRM, customer relationship management. We help them keep track of where their customer leads are originating from. Could be people walking in or calling into their office. Perhaps it's Zillow or Facebook. We help them manage those leads through nurture and drip campaigns, sending out gentle touches to stay in touch with those customers. When it is appropriate and the contacts are ready to actually do business, buy or sell a piece of real estate, perhaps lease something, we will transact the entire business for them by turning the customer's contact information into a transaction, which means we'll populate all of the state of Florida standard purchase contracts, listing agreements, the state of Florida Supreme Court lease, because all the data we've been building in the CRM can then populate into the purchase contracts, listing agreements, etc. We will help them with a calendar integration function to keep track of their respective appointments, as well as all those critical dates in the transaction, perhaps deposit deadlines or home inspection deadlines or listing expiration deadlines. We'll help them with all their communications. It does have a fully integrated email platform to stay in touch with their customers for one-off emails, as well as the mass marketing drip campaigns. One of the areas that realtors really need help with is accounting, to keep track of all of their operational expenses so they can achieve maximum tax deductions, which our friend from the 401k will probably want to talk about a little bit further. However, we help them keep track of every single dollar they spend, right from the cookie baskets and the postcards all the way through the lock boxes and the classes they take, so they can allocate certain expenses to each transaction to keep track of their actual costs, to adjust their gross income to their net income, which helps them come tax time. We'll help them through full e-signature, because we have a fully integrated e-signature module in the system where they can sign all the documents. They can email them out to their customers who are remote, out of town, and have them electronically sign on any mobile device that they wish. And then it'll help them with the compliance. Chapter 475 of the Florida statutes is where we are regulated in our business, and there is a specific compliance protocol that we have to follow, helps them keep track of all the necessary documentation and how to store it as required by state law for 5 years. And then, of course, we'll follow back up with another drip campaign post-closing after the deal is done, thanking them for their business and staying in touch with them for their next round of purchases or sales.
Well, you talk about Florida realtors. You know, you are based in Boca Raton. You went to University of Florida, which my daughters went. Did some real estate brokerage there, and we're here in the Bay Area. You're talking about realtors in anywhere in Florida, correct?
Well, we actually provide total broker service anywhere in the world. Our biggest contingency of customers is here in the state of Florida because the company was launched here by Florida realtors for Florida realtors. However, we have customer accounts in about 24 states across the nation, as well as Mexico and Canada. Because it is an online platform, we can help brokers and agents anywhere that they do business to help them facilitate their careers in a more effective and convenient manner.
Total brokerage software. Ben, how do people get in contact with you?
Easy. TotalBrokerage.com. My personal direct line, 561-302-9117. That's 561-302-9117. Or best yet, TotalBrokerage.com. 24/7. We have instant messenger chat, toll-free numbers. We even have all of our pricing available there. We even offer a couple of free months upfront promotion for members of this show who listen in because we want them to have a chance to see the product, and we know they'll love it.
Awesome. Ben, we appreciate you, brother. TotalBrokerage.com. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ian. Have a great day. Best of luck, everybody.
All right, the same to you. It's hot all over. It's hot all over Florida right now. Whether you're in Boca or whether you're in Gainesville, it doesn't matter. Let's talk here to Greg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. That's the name of your company, the AC guy of Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's correct, Ian. When we named the company, I was thinking I wanted to make it something that everybody could remember, and it's pretty easy,
pretty straightforward.
You can.
AC guy of Tampa Bay. That's pretty darn easy. How long has this business been around?
We established the business in 2009, actually right in the middle of the recession. I had been working for some other companies, and with the economy going down, I actually decided it was a good time when most people thought it wasn't a good time to kick off a business. We decided to do it and got it going.
Well, air conditioning in Florida, is it recession-proof?
Probably.
You still need your AC.
Yeah, you gotta have it. Actually, in the middle of recession, air conditioning doesn't go away. People still need it. So it was the kind of business that, you gotta have it.
Period.
Can't live without it.
Now, Scott Maurer, right?
Maurer. Joe Maurer.
Like Joe Maurer. Okay, it's pronounced the same. It's just spelled different.
Yep.
So it's messing me all up. It's like Ian Ziering. It just messed me up because it's Ian. You know what I mean? I get it. Advanta IRA. I have an IRA. I have 401ks. I have everything. Is there a big difference between IRAs and 401ks?
A little bit.
Explain, please.
Yes, sure. IRAs are individual retirement accounts, and you can have your IRA and place it with whatever firm you wish, whether that's a brokerage firm like Charles Schwab or whether it's a company like ours that you're going to invest in real estate. But IRAs are individually created. You put your own money into it. 401ks and their counterparts, 403bs, 457 plans, are employer-created retirement accounts. So if you work for a Coca-Cola, IBM, whatnot, you have a 401k through them. You not only put in some of your salary, the company a lot of times will match a part of that as well. But 401ks, when you leave an employer, can be rolled over into an IRA. So they a lot of times they can be mixed. It's just usually you don't mix your IRA into your 401k, but vice versa.
Well, when I was in the NFL for a while, I remember when Sam White was our coach, and this is when they first started the 401k. And I remember Sam White said, "We're starting a 401k program. I suggest everybody gets involved. You should look into it." So I look into it, and I believe we put down $7,000, and they put down $10,000. Okay. It's a pretty good deal, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty darn good deal. So I remember Sam Weiss going in front of the whole team and saying, "We have a dozen people that didn't do this. If you don't do this, you're not intelligent enough to play football, and you should be cut." That's what he said. But if you really think about it, you put in $7,000, and your company's going to put in $10,000. That should be a no-brainer.
It is, and a lot of times it does depend on the company. Obviously, you work for an employer who was given that full match. Now the amounts are you can defer up to $18,500 of your salary, and a company can match up to 25% of your compensation to a total of 55,000. So the amounts are a lot higher. But if you work for a company that's giving you, say they're gonna match the first 5%, that's free money. You defer at least 5% of your salary. The company's going to put in another 5% on top of that. It's free money. You got to do it if you have that opportunity.
Got to do it. And from what I hear, the NFL now is putting in twice as much. So these guys are really, really banking. That's for sure.
They are. It's good retirement plan.
Good for them. I mean, I like the fact that those guys are being prepared for life after. That's for sure. Now, being here in Florida, like we were talking about before, an air conditioner is not really an option. Okay, I'm from Montreal, Canada. Okay, so that's a long way north. I'm gonna tell you, I never had air conditioning in my house or my car. Did you see how many deaths were in Montreal?
Right.
There's a bunch of deaths because it's Florida hot, and people are actually dying. I mean, do you see, do we even have deaths in Florida anymore because of heat? Everybody's got to be somewhat prepared.
Yeah, I believe so. I know that, like, for example, during Irma, with the power outages, there were deaths related to lack of air conditioning. But for the most part, I don't think we see that like you would in other parts of the country.
All right, let's take a quick break. We're going to come back. Ian Beckles filling in for Brandon Rhymes. We have Scott Maurer from Nevada IRA and Greg Bowman from the AC Guy of Tampa Bay. We're going to pick their brains a little bit, so don't go anywhere. Ian Beckles will be right back with you.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Ian Beckles filling in for the great Brandon Rhymes, who will be back. Should be for next show, definitely. So I'm sitting in for him. Real Estate Quarterback Show. Normally I'm on 102.5 The Bone. If you get up early in the morning, I'm on from 5 to 6 a.m. With Slater. And then on Saturday, I have a show with Ray Lampe, Flavor of Tampa Bay. Then on Sunday, the Ian Beckles Show is from 11 to 1. So on every day for a little bit on The Bone, 102.5. And that's the flamethrower. You know what that's all about. Now, let's talk to Greg Bowman from Bowman or Bowman?
Bowman.
Yeah. Like Scotty?
Yeah.
Are you related to Scotty?
No.
You wish you were related to Scotty. You get some good tickets, that's for
Right.
sure. The AC guy of Tampa Bay. Now, we were talking during the break about heat versus humidity. Everybody always talks about Arizona having dry heat. We do not have dry heat here in the Bay Area. We have a whole lot of humidity.
Correct.
How does humidity affect the air conditioning as compared to just straight up heat?
It really has a huge impact. My wife and I were actually at dinner the other night, and she was telling me that she prefers to go to the gym in the evening because the gym she goes to is one of those 24-hour gyms. She said it's a whole lot more comfortable at night than when she goes in the morning. And she's like, I don't understand that. It's a 24-hour gym. Why does it feel more comfortable at night? And it's really humidity is what that difference is. It doesn't have anything to do with temperature. It's because in the evening, because the air conditioner has been running all afternoon because it's hot outside, it's really pulling a lot of moisture out of the air. So in the evening, the humidity levels in the gym are lower. She doesn't sweat as much. She's more comfortable. Early in the morning, the units have been pretty much off all night. The humidity has built up in the gym. She sweats a lot more. So humidity really can affect your comfort level in your home. The same thing can happen in a home. Sometimes in the morning it might feel less comfortable in your home than it does in the evening. People mess around with the thermostat to adjust that, and it's really not the temperature that they're dealing with. It's the humidity. And we have a huge problem with that, because our humidities here are typically 60, 70, 80% all the time outside, 100%.
Is it higher anywhere else?
South Florida might be a little bit
think?
more. But,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been to Miami. I'm telling you, the humidity is worse here
right?
than it was in Miami. It was pretty darn bad.
Yeah.
Now, does your air conditioning sense humidity though? It definitely pumps harder with humidity.
Well, what it traditionally no, the traditional air conditioner is centered around a thermostat, simply temperature control. Newer air conditioners, though, are really designed to do a better job at dehumidification. There are thermostats available now that will measure both and adjust the air conditioner performance to compensate for better humidity removal. There are new air conditioners out now that they have what's called an inverter in them. It's a lot like a dimmer switch. If you think about a light bulb, your traditional air conditioner is like a light that you turn on or you turn off. Some newer air conditioners now with the inverters in them are like a dimmer switch. They start from 0, go all the way up to 100%, all the way back down. So they can modulate when it's not as hot out, but the humidity's still high. They can slow down and really suck the moisture out. So there are some options of things that can be done to eliminate that.
They should just follow me around and see how much I'm sweating, because I'm pretty a very good gauge at how much humidity is out there. Now, Scott Maurer from Advanta IRA. Once again, I'm like 95% out there who have no idea about IRAs. I know about money being put in, and it's for later on in life. But as far as the particulars, you said there's a lot of options within your IRA. Give us the options that we have.
Yeah, sure. And that's, again, you're very much like a lot of people. You have money in an IRA, but you're not sure what you're invested in or what you should be invested in. What I think most people would agree on, you have to have your money invested somewhere. Putting it in a bank and a CD, getting 1% is not a good long-term solution. So your options for investing, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, most people are familiar with those. In fact, that's where most people have their IRA funds invested. It's in those types of traditional investment platforms. What we allow for at Advanta is to actually use your IRA to invest in rental property, buy a house to rehab. You can lend money from your IRA to somebody else. You can invest in somebody's startup company. So there's a lot of different options. The IRS will allow you to invest in a lot of different things. You just have to have the right custodian to do so. And a brokerage firm or a bank is not going to allow for you to buy a rental property with your IRA because it doesn't fit their business model. But that's exactly what we do. You go out and find the property. We help you get it purchased in the name of the IRA. And we then do all the record keeping associated with you buying that property.
So, for instance, I'm just going to give you, hypothetical. Say I have $500,000 in an IRA, and I have a business, and I have a building, and I want to purchase that building. we can flop it into purchasing a building?
That is one restriction you can't do. But
We can't do it.
You can't do your building that you already own or that you want to use. It's got to be strictly like a third party. But if you found another building next door that you said, hey, I could buy that, I can rent that to other parties who aren't related to me, they'll pay me rent. That rent actually goes back into your IRA account. So instead of building your IRA through mutual fund dividends, you're actually putting that rental income back inside your IRA.
Wow, you see how many things we're learning here?
Yep.
And we're learning a lot of things here, that's for sure. Now, I mean, for an AC company, when you talk about AC companies, there's a lot of them out there.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of them out there. I hear a lot of them advertising. I mean, how do you stay up with the Joneses in Florida?
Well, our business model has we've done a little bit of advertising, but a lot of our business has come word of mouth. I've believe that you take good care of your clients and they're going to take care of you. And that has been our motto from the beginning. And it has really paid off. We probably get 80-90% of our business through word of mouth. Now, we have grown to the point now that we do have to do a little more advertising.
Sure.
As you get bigger, you do. But yes, you're right. There are 400 to 500 air conditioning companies.
400 to 500.
Yes.
And probably growing every day, I would think.
Yeah. Now, the large part of those will start up and go out of business within a short period of time.
That makes sense.
But yes, there are a lot of air conditioning
Like
companies out there.
restaurants. There's a lot of restaurants that open and close, and there are probably as many that are coming in as going out at the same rate. That's for sure. Now, how many people in this community, Scott, do what you do? 400 to 500, or is it 10,000?
More like one or two.
Really?
As far as the self-directed aspect, the buying real estate and the private mortgages, certainly there are a lot of firms that do IRA administration, like a Schwab or a Fidelity, a Ameritrade, goes on and on. But what we specialize in, very few people in our area do, and that's one thing that we're kind of a very specialized niche market. I mean, less than 5% of all IRAs, retirement funds, are even in self-directed accounts. Like what we administer, people buying those alternative assets that aren't readily available on the stock market. So very, very niche industry. But for our clients, I mean, they obviously love what we do because it allows them to get a lot more control over what they're doing in their IRA.
So, like I said, I have an IRA. What's the criteria that you're looking for? What's different with the people you're not looking for everybody with an IRA? What's the criteria you're looking for?
Well, in one sense, we are looking for anyone with an IRA, but specifically the people who choose to work with us are usually entrepreneurs. They're individuals who are looking for something different. They're they're scared of the stock market to some extent. And they're looking to diversify. So it takes a little bit of a different mind at times, and people who a natural fit, obviously, anybody who invests in real estate. Using an IRA to invest in real estate is just using a different bag of money. So that's an easy fit. But for a lot of people, again, it's also, we work with a lot of doctors or attorneys who are looking for that sexy investment to invest their IRA into a private startup company that's going to take off. And they're going to get all that benefit back inside their IRA. So our general client can be quite diverse. But a lot of people, again, it's that different kind of mindset of what they're looking to do and be a little more active in their investing.
Should people be scared of the stock market right now?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, we're not advisors, but I think anytime something goes too high or too low, that's an advantage or an opportunity for you. So, I can say all our clients are scared of the stock market.
Well, everything corrects itself. It all seems that way. I mean, it doesn't matter who is, who the president is, and if it's a Republican or Democrat. If you look at it, it always goes up, then comes back down. It eventually always goes up. Okay, and that's why everybody wants to give blame and give credit to whoever's in office. Whoever's in office is going to have the highest the stock market's ever been. Period. That's just the way it goes. It's never come down. It's going to continually go up. But it's all timing. If you jump into the stock market right now, it doesn't mean you're going to make any more money than if you would have jumped into it in 1970. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's an excellent point. I think, again, what illustrates what our clients think is, depending on when you jump in the stock market averages 7-8% a year. That's an average. Depends on when you jump in.
Yeah.
Our clients go buy that house in their neighborhood, rent it. They get a consistent 8 to 10% return on rental income, and they're not worried about what's going on in the Middle East, what's going on in Russia affecting their stock market value. It's what's going on in their neighborhood that affects their home price and their rental rates.
No doubt. Now, AC company, and we said that earlier, AC is kind of like roofs, to where nobody really wants to replace their AC because it doesn't really add to the value of their house.
Right.
So what do you guys do at the AC Guy of Tampa Bay when people are pricing ACs out? Do you guys have specific systems that you guys use? I mean, all the companies use pretty much the same materials and the same systems?
Well, there are a number of different brands, of systems that are available. If we were having this conversation 20 years ago, I would have told you, oh, yeah, you got to stay with this brand or this brand. Or today, in all honesty, there are about a half dozen manufacturers, and they all use the same parts pretty much. Brand, I think, has kind of gone away. The bigger deal now is the warranty that they're going to provide, whatever the brand's going to provide. And the warranty that the company is going to provide that's putting it in for you. The bigger deal is going to be what is the company that's installing it, and are they going to do the job right? That's going to have a bigger impact on what kind of product you're going to get rather than a specific brand.
Obviously. So we're going to come back and we're going to talk to Greg and Scott. We're going to talk a little bit about the Voices for Children and the Guardian Ad Litem system, which I was involved with a little bit. And we'll talk about filtration and warranties and everything we can find out about IRAs and air conditioning. So don't go anywhere. Ian Beckles filling in for Brandon Rhymes. We'll be right back on the other end.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
Ian Beckles filling in for Brandon Rhymes. Big ups to Ben Schacter from totalbrokerage.com. If you want to hit him up as far as realtors go, sounds like a good situation with networking and getting into the right circles. So you want to take advantage of that. brokerage.com. Now, we're talking to Scott Maurer here from Advanta IRA. We have some things in common. I used to be on the board for Voices for Children, which is a guardian ad litem program. Now, you said you are a guardian?
I am a guardian. I've been one for 4 years now.
Now, how fulfilling? Talk to me a little bit about that. What that entails. My wife's a guardian, so I know a little bit about it. But let other people know what that entails exactly.
Sure, it's for people who are unfamiliar with what a guardian ad litem is. It's a person to volunteer. It's a completely volunteer job, I guess, so to speak, where you give a voice to children who are find themselves in the court system for a variety of reasons. Most common reason. Children, a lot of times when the Department of Children and Families comes in, they remove a child from a home where a parent's abusing drugs or is just neglecting the child. The parent has to go through a court system and do a number of case plans and tasks. And the guardian ad litem program was really started to make sure that somebody was focused on the child. Mm-hmm. The court system is so focused on what the parents are doing. Are the parents working? Are the parents, completing their parenting courses, doing what they need to do? The guardian ad litem system gives a voice to the actual child, make sure that there is a focus. Is the child getting their needs met? What's in the best interest of the child? So a guardian ad litem is a volunteer, meet with the child, or in this case, in my current case, I actually have two twins, and so I'm meeting with both children. But you meet with them for an hour and a half a month. You do a report to the court, and you go to various court hearings once or twice a month, sometimes depending on how often. But again, just to make sure that the child is being represented in the court system again, so that doesn't get lost.
How tough is it to deal with the parents? Because my wife had some issues with parents because it's almost like you're spying on them. Like, what relationship do you have with the parents?
Yeah, I was actually spoiled, I think, in my first case because the mother was very open and nice and friendly and would talk to me and give me all kinds of information that was helpful for me to evaluate the child. So I was a little spoiled there because in my last couple of cases, it's been a little bit different where they think either, are you spying on me? Are you reporting on me? And we are bound to some extent to report certain things that we see or hear. But again, I've always maintained at the outset, when the first time I talk to a parent, I am here for the best interest of your child, which hopefully you have your child's best interest in as well. So I'm not an advocate against you. I don't work for the court system. I'm not an employee. I'm not in law enforcement. But yeah, you do get that a little bit, I think, where they're worried about exactly who are you and what are you doing.
Well, you're doing good things in the community. That's important. That's very, very important. That's for sure. Now, Greg, for you, when we're talking about new AC systems, you brought something up as far as warranties go. Okay, is there an average length of warranty? Do you give people choices of warranties? How does that work exactly?
Well, there's a couple of different things. Warranties are usually manufacturer provided, and they have gotten better. When I first started in this industry, a typical warranty was maybe 5 years on the compressor, 1 year all other parts. Pretty much across the board today, 10 years on all parts. Now, a lot of your brands now are actually starting to throw in labor warranties as well, and you can get 10-year parts and labor now on a lot of systems.
Wow.
Some even 12-year parts and labor, and some are actually including lifetime compressor warranties now. So warranties have come up, definitely. The second part of that equation is the guarantees. That's the company that's putting it in. What are they offering you? How are they going to stand behind the product that they put in? It's great if you get a product with a 10-year warranty on it, but if the warranty has conditions that weren't met by the installing contractor, you might not have a warranty. So what kind of guarantees are there from the installing contractor? That's the other side of the equation to consider.
Now, I was just talking to some friends the other day about technology and equipment in general. For instance, a television. Like, I have a plasma screen that's on my wall that I've had for 12 to 15 years maybe. I paid $10,000 for that thing.
Right.
Now you can get a television for $300.
Right.
But they don't make things like they used to.
Correct.
Do you find they're making compressors better than they used to? Because it sounds like the warranties are getting better.
The interesting side of it is the warranties are getting better, but I don't think the quality is better.
Yeah,
The quality was better years ago, definitely. And when I started in this industry, a typical air conditioner, 15, 20, 25, 30 years was the typical life. I pulled one out one time that was 49 years old.
An air conditioner that's 49 years old?
It was 49 years old.
And not replaced?
It had not been replaced in 49 years.
How's that possible?
Well, it hadn't been running for about 5 years, so it was really only like 44 years old. But yeah, it was. you can't even consider that today.
No,
it won't
no
happen.
way.
Average life of a system today is 10 to 12 years. So now the other thing, with most of your manufacturer's warranties that they're providing is it's to the original homeowner. So if the home gets sold, the manufacturer warranty kind of goes away. They're kind of counting on that, I think, when they're offering that today. But definitely, products don't last like they used to.
No, not even close. You just can't make things the same. Nothing. Furniture. Yeah. Like I go to a furniture store now, look at some new furniture, and it's all wobbly. Yeah. The other day I went to Goodwill, and I looked at this table, and I spent $140 on a table and 6 chairs, and you couldn't break this table with a sledgehammer. Right. And it just was, the top of it just needed some painting. And I'm thinking, they just don't make things like they used to anymore. It's crazy. Yeah. Now, Scott, when we talk about IRA, once again, thinking that we're all ignorant out there, and that's not calling us ignorant. We're all ignorant with IRA. So people that have IRAs, what's the first thing they should go home and check on?
I think it's good. One thing to go back and look and see what you're invested in. I think if you have to ask the average person, what do you even invested in, they would have no clue.
I don't.
Or I'm invested in mutual funds. Okay, well, what type of mutual funds?
Exactly.
Is it the right investment for you? What are you getting on it? What's your return on an annual basis? And obviously, then I think with the further question, once you answer that, is what is your long-term goal? What do you want to have? Do you want to have more control? People, if you do let your account just sit for a while, sometimes you, like you said, depending on when you enter and leave the market, you can end up okay. But if you want to take more control, and again, that's the aspect I think of the common thread for a lot of our clients is they're taking a more active approach to their IRA and saying, I want to be in control, and yes, I have this amount now, but I know that I'm going to need more to retire.
Sure.
I'm going to need more than that. What I'm doing now isn't getting me there. What other avenues do I have? I was talking to Greg actually during the break, and mentioned he's potentially looking at flipping houses or doing things in their IRA, and that's something that a lot of people think of, but they don't think that they have the money to do it. But people have money sitting in an IRA or an old 401k. That can be the capital you need to get started.
Now, so you kind of answered the question a little bit, but a lot of it has to be situational to where, what are you looking for in your world? How aggressive do you want to be? Where do you want to be? The whole thing with retiring, I don't know about you, and I don't know everybody listening out there. I don't know how much dang money you think you're going to need to have when you retire, but I used to have a lot of money, and it's all gone. So if you think that you're going to have whatever the amount of money is, and you're just going to stop and retire and live for 20 years, I hope you think that number is big.
Yeah, and I think we've at least dispelled the notion that everybody thinks that I'll have Social Security.
Yeah. So does anybody have that number intact to what number? And everybody lives differently, obviously. But say you retire. People used to talk about retiring at 60, If you live to 80, does anybody have that number in mind, what you would need to live comfortably till you're 80?
There are a number of calculators out there on the internet. You can kind of put in what your salary is now, what you're earning now, if you want to live the same way now that in your retirement years.
Is that even a possible equation right now in this day and age?
Well, it's a prediction at best of saying what you might need. But I think to your point, when the point you brought up, if people think about Social Security, when Social Security started, people weren't living to 75, 76 years old. They were dying in the early 60s. Social Security kicked in at 65. It was an insurance program. And I think more people are getting caught up in the idea, I'll retire when I'm 60. Well, if that's the mindset of from the 50s and 60s when people were not living past 70, 75 years old. Now that people are living longer, you're going to need more. You're going to need long-term health care insurance. You're going to need more money for your medical bills, things like that. And I think that's just, there are calculators out there, but like you said, it's hard to get an exact number or a general figure of what you're going to need.
I think it's actually impossible because I know people that make $15 an hour that live check to check. I know people that make $150,000 a year that live check to check. Yep. So you're making $150,000 a year, you're living check to check. How much money are you going to need to save and accumulate? Well, you're living check to check.
Yeah.
And just when you want to save some money, your air conditioning breaks down. And then you got to spend. How much is the average unit right now for, let's say, one unit? What's the average unit cost right now to replace?
It really varies depending on a lot of factors, but you can spend on the low end a few thousand up to mid-teens.
Mid-teens.
Yeah.
That's the last
That's for a high end.
Yeah, the last time I did it, I think I went 10,000.
Okay. Yeah.
and it hurts.
Oh yeah,
It hurts. It hurts a lot.
Yeah,
And
nobody's usually prepared for that. We've got a lot of great financing options to deal with that because nobody's ready to put out that kind of money when that comes around. So yeah,
absolutely not. I'm not ready to. It's like when the property taxes come around. Nobody's ever ready for that. Never ready for that. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk to Scott and Greg a little bit more about IRAs, air conditioning, and maybe pick their brains a little bit and freestyle a little bit as well. Don't go anywhere. Ian Beckles filling in for Brandon Rhymes. This is a Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
Okay, welcome back. Ian Beckles sitting in for Mr. Brandon Rhymes, the Consumer Quarterback Show. He'll be back with you guys next week, that's for sure. He's in California. It's a little sabbatical doing his business as he normally does. But like I said, he'll be right back with you. And hopefully Brandon has invested in his IRA and knows which way to go. Do you work with Brandon at all?
Yeah, we've worked with, obviously he's a realtor, and so we've worked with a lot of realtors too. I think we've worked with some of his clients as well who, again, you find a property for investment, that's a place to look, is in your IRA for the cash.
Mm-hmm. So you're looking for people with disposable income? Is that the normal person that you're looking for?
Not always, because I mean, again, people would think IRAs. You think of you might have a certain image in your head of a more affluent people. It's not necessarily that. We have people who work for a company number of years, or it could be the janitor at the school, works at the school board for 40 years, builds up a nice little nest egg there.
You'd be shocked sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes that janitor has been saving up a lot of money, and sometimes he has more than the cat that lives in that that bougie neighborhood that has a big boat in his backyard. You'd be shocked sometimes.
Yeah, the guy who's still living paycheck to paycheck and is pulling in all that money. And yeah, absolutely. So the people who are working with us, again, the common thread is somebody comes across an investment opportunity. We had a number of clients a couple of years ago. There was a private insurance company that was looking to raise capital, bring in new shareholders, and people saw an opportunity and said, hey, insurance companies, they tend to do well. They make lots of money for their shareholders. But it was a private stock, so you couldn't buy it on E-Trade. So they used their IRA with us to actually purchase that private stock, and I think all of them did very well when that stock finally did go public.
Greg Bowman here from the AC Guy of Tampa Bay. Talk to us a little bit about filtration. Okay, so I have an office and I have all these different vents all over the place, and you're supposed to replace them on an average, on a consistent basis. How important is all that filtration? We're talking about to the efficiency of the AC unit.
Yeah, it's very important, and it's a very confusing issue for most consumers when they go to Home Depot or Lowe's or the grocery store, wherever they're going to buy filters at. There are dozens of options of what you can put in. Now we're particularly talking about those 1-inch filters. There are some other options out there, but particularly in the 1-inch filters, which most homeowners have in the grills like you're talking about, you can find filters from a few dollars to $30 or $40 a piece. And the marketing on those filters tends to make you believe that, hey, if I buy that $30 filter, it's going to make things better. You got to use a little caution there. The $30 filter is great if your system can handle it. The problem is most of those filters add a lot of pressure drop to the system and can actually cause the air conditioner to work less efficiently, actually can cause damage to the system. So my personal recommendation is an $8 to $10 filter, unless you've talked to a pro and somebody who's looked at your system and says, yes, your system can handle a more restrictive filter, but don't overspend on the filters you're putting in.
So an expensive filter can mess up your system.
Correct. Yeah, I know.
That's not good.
Yeah, well, it's the marketing is to sell you that filter that's real good at removing dust and everything like that. But the way it gets real good at removing dust is it restricts the airflow through smaller and smaller holes in that filter. If your system is designed to handle that, no problem. You can use a filter like that. But unfortunately, probably 3 out of 4 homes in Florida systems are not designed to handle that kind of filter. So you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, buy that kind of filter, stick it in your system, you'll actually probably see your energy bills climb and can actually damage your system. So I would recommend staying away from that until you've talked to a technician and somebody who's looked at your system and says, yes, you can put a high-end filter in.
What? That's backwards. That's like a Rolex making your wrist green. My wrist got green by a Rolex watch. Doesn't make any darn sense. Yeah. Now, Scott, as far as IRAs go, if you look at the average person out there, what do you think is the most common mistake people make with IRAs?
Common mistake is burying their head in the sand to an extent. I think if people just think, hey, or I have money in there, I must
being
have
ignorant,
enough.
Playing ignorant.
I think so. I really do.
I'm doing that. I think I'm doing that. I'm doing that as we speak.
Well,
yes.
You're making the mistake again. You're making the mistake that 70% of America is making again, which is just be a little more active. Whether you're going to self-direct and buy real estate through us, or at least you're going to talk to your financial advisor and look more into the mutual funds and stocks you're invested into. Just take that step, or obviously if you're paying someone to help you do that, obviously hopefully they're have your best interest at heart too.
So if I call my guy up when we get off the air, I'm gonna say, hey, Scott told me to keep an eye on what I got invested in. What should I look for? I mean, because when he talks to me what I'm invested in, it's not gonna mean anything to me. What should I be looking for?
I think asking a lot of time what your annualized return is.
Okay.
What am I getting on an annual basis on the money that I've put in? Because obviously inflation is going to creep in at some point. It has been fairly low the last few years. It's going to start creeping in. So you want to know what your annualized return is. Where is your exposure? What happens? What's going to happen to my portfolio if the market drops significantly? If there's a 10 or 20% reduction in the market that we saw less than a decade ago, even greater than that. What's going to happen to my portfolio? How am I protected? Okay.
Those are all really, really good questions, that's for sure. Now, I have to ask you, Greg, once again, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. January compared to July, money-wise, how do you compare as an AC company? How does the money differ? Because July, you got to be just slammed, but people's AC's going down and breaking down with all this heat because we're breaking records this year. I'm just telling you that because I don't know what's happening outside, but it feels like my skin's going to bubble up. Right. It's so hot. And in January, I think we had an okay winter. I mean, it's very comfortable.
Right.
What is your business like comparatively from July to January?
That's one of the things about the air conditioning business. It's very up and down. This time of year, my guys are working 55, 60 hours a week. they look forward to January. They love January when it slows down, and 35, 40 hours is their typical thing. Definitely this time of year we're really busy. One of the side notes of that is if you're thinking about replacing an air conditioner, we're hungry in January. It's a good time to do it.
Understandable,
Plan ahead for it. Don't wait till July because nobody discounts in July to get an air conditioner, sale. But in January is when you're going to get your rebates from the manufacturers. It's when the contractor is going to kick in money to just keep the guys working. So, definitely it's an up and down business.
That's good advice because in July, do the numbers change in January and July? Of the systems themselves. I mean, does that change?
The costs of the systems?
Yes,
no,
that doesn't change.
No.
Okay.
Now, some manufacturers will rebate money in the off season because they want to see the sales, even out too. But you combine that with a contractor, like our company will do it. We will, when we slow down, we'll start discounting, offering incentives to do it. I look at it as, if we don't have to make money on the job in January, if we can keep the guys working, keep the overhead covered. So, but in July, we're going to get our price because it's that time of year.
Well, I tell you what, you're backwards for the rest of the state because the rest of the state's dormant in July. Restaurants and everybody is going up north and everybody's going to the beach and they're just not. They're not in their homes, it seems like. Right. But if you're in your home, your AC is pumping, that's for sure. And even if you're not in your home, you can't turn your AC off.
Right.
You're not because once being from Montreal, we didn't have AC. So when it got hot, we were hotter than everybody else. Right. There was you got to go in the basement and hide in the corner, or else you're going to just burn up. And same with the cars. Right. I can't imagine driving around without AC in my car right now.
Oh yeah.
Not in Florida. We'd all be dead out here. IRA or not, we'd all be dead. You know what I mean? So if somebody wants to get in contact with you, Scott, how do they get in contact with you for some information?
Best way to reach me, you can reach me by phone at 727-581-9853. My direct extension is 1123. You can also just go to our website, advantaira.com, ADVANTAIRA.com.
How long has Advanta been around?
Since 2004.
There you go. They've definitely been established. How about yourself, Greg?
Best phone number to contact the office on is 727-286-3170. You can also reach us on the web at acguyoftampa.com. That confuses some people.
Yeah, definitely.
It's acguyoftampa.com. Or if you want to email us, it's theacguyoftampa@gmail.com.
Perfect. And how long have you guys been in existence?
We established the business in 2009 is when we kicked things off.
When did the stock market plummet? Was it 5?
Right before that, 08.
08.
Yeah, it was when it, and we were kind of getting the business together in 08, but we actually incorporated in 09, right in the kind of in the bottom of it.
Right in the bottom of it. Yeah. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
For an air conditioning business, it was a good thing, I believe. Got to have air, so.
Yeah, everybody has to have air. That's absolutely. Not everybody has to have an IRA, though.
They don't, but they should.
Okay. Yep. Now, with this resurgence of our economy, business is good?
Business is good, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I think more people are buying real estate for one. Real estate's hot. A lot of this, again, the startup companies, people with new ideas, they're developing an app or developing some new technology or service. They're looking for capital. You can use somebody's IRA to help finance your business.
I live in South Tampa. It seems like nobody punches a clock in South Tampa. Everybody owns their own little company. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's what you're looking for.
Yep. There's ways to use your own IRA to even start your own business too.
Beautiful. And for anybody who wants to get in contact with me, it's Ian Beckles. You can check me out on all social media, IANBECKLES. And we're opening up a new place over there on Gandy and West Shore, which is going to be called Flavor of Tampa Bay. It's going to be a market, and maybe we can use you for an AC company. And when we start rolling in all the money, I could call you, and we can get a Flavor of Tampa Bay IRA going.
Exactly.
Or maybe flip my IRA to kind of do some things and, just some productive stuff. We're just all about making money. That's it. Well, I'll tell you guys, Scott and Greg, I appreciate you guys. You guys were wonderful. Thanks to Ben Schacter over there from Total brokerage.com. You want to hit him up as well. And thank you for Brandon for giving me the opportunity to sit in this seat once again. Social media at Ian Beckles, Dignitary Life, and Flavor of Tampa Bay as well. Everybody have a wonderful week, and please be safe.
You've been listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 1025 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.